No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take a few to lose. Built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself, I felt it in.
Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. So excited about. Hey, look, my Commanders won this week. We on a good stretch, so I'm excited. We got Tom over here and Dave. How y'all doing, fellas?
Hey, man.
Great.
Always feeling good to be here, man.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Feel good, look good.
Okay.
Let's get it.
All right, Dion.
Yeah, all right. All right, Deion Sanders. All right, so listen, y'all, we got a packed out show today. Packed out show. We got to cover a lot. A lot happened over the weekend. A lot happened yesterday. So before we get started, make sure y'all like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share this video with somebody that y'all know personally so they can come on and watch live with us. Use that comment section. We can see all the comments you guys will be jotting down throughout the show. And last but not least, enjoy the rest of the show. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about are the Eagles. The Eagles defeated Green Bay. They defeated Green Bay and Sunday night. And a lot's going on in that situation. You got the Eagles, they're 10-1 right now, right? We want to know, will they continue this winning streak? All right, not winning streak. They do have a winning streak now, 2-game winning streak after we get on the L. But anyways, will they continue this winning streak throughout the rest of the season? And then you had Jordan Love come in, right, after Aaron Rodgers being injured, and he looked pretty okay. He looked pretty good. So we want to know also, should the Packers start Jordan Love going forward? So I'm going to kick this one off, all right? All right, y'all. I got a lot to say in a little bit of time, okay? So first of all, the Eagles, of course, anybody can lose, right? Yeah, they could lose a game. I'm not going to bank they're going to go undefeated the rest of the season. They might rest some players at the end of the season. But I do want to say this about the Eagles, all right? And some Eagles fans might be excited about this. And then I'm around their parade at the end. So look, Jalen Hurts is balling. I got to give him that. He's balling. All right? Let Jerry Jones. All right, Jerry Jones. Jalen Hurts is balling right now. All right, Eagles fans, he's balling. The Eagles have some flaws, especially I saw small flaws last night, but Jalen Hurts covered up the flaws. I'll give him that. I'm here to say one thing. Right now, Tomo. Right now, David. Right now, currently this season, Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFC East. Right now, I'm gonna say that. And I will have to revisit this topic in the playoffs, because that's when it really counts. But as of right now in the regular season, he's legit playing the best, and I trust him more than any other quarterback. And Taylor Heineke, Daniel Jones, they're not even the best offensive players on their team, so they not even in conversation. And you got Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, I feel like when the Cowboys lose, a lot of times it's because Dak didn't perform the way he's supposed to perform. When on the other hand, Jalen Hurts, they win games because he bails them out a lot. I don't remember games when Dak bailed them out. I don't remember those games. I can see some games this year I see Jalen Hurts. And even the one loss they got, it's not even because of Jalen Hurts. It's because of that defense who allowed 49 rushes in one game. Sounds familiar for some team, but I'm gonna let Tom talk about that. All right. So the defense and also the wide receivers, including AJ Brown, who's not the best receiver in the NFC East. All right. So I'm gonna give Jalen Hurts his props on that. But like I said, we gotta revisit this in the playoffs. Now, the Packers, should they start Jordan Love? if I was the Packers, that's what I would do, y'all. I would respect of Aaron Rodgers. I would let him complete the season if they're still mathematically have a chance to win, get to the playoffs. I would let him continue to play. If he says he wants to play, I would let him continue to play. But the moment we're eliminated from playoff contention, he got to go, and Jordan Love has to start. All right? And then the off season, the Packers need to grow some, you know what? Approach Aaron Rodgers and say, going forward, Jordan Love is our starting quarterback. If Aaron Rodgers catches a little fit, I want you to remind him of how he got his job. Brett Favre got hurt during the season. Aaron Rodgers came in, looked pretty good. Still took an L to the Cowboys, to your Cowboys. But they let Brett Favre continue the season because they were still in playoff contention. They lose in the playoffs. Next season came out, but hey, Brett, we going where Aaron Rodgers is going for it. So we got to remind Aaron Rodgers of that because I know he's getting paid 3 years for $150 million, but I will start Jordan Love going for it, and that's my preference. That's why I stand on that.
All right. There was a lot of digs in that open soliloquy by Joe there. Just want to let the people know, man, we feeling good today. You know, we played on Thursday, so I don't even know why y'all coming at us like this. But if I read off some of these numbers, y'all let me know what type of game this sounds like. 16 for 28, 153, passing yards and 2 touchdowns. But then also 17 attempts on 157 rushing. Does it sound like an NFL game to you, or does it sound like a high school Saturday Night Live game? Friday Night Lights? Y'all let me know.
I'll say more so college.
Okay. But to me, this sounds like a down south, Texas Friday Night Lights, where your quarterback and your quarterback is your running back, because both the stats I just read were not a quarterback and a running back. This was all what Jalen Hurts did last night. They ran the ball 50 times. 50 times. I'm about to start calling Philly 50 Cent, because that's what they was doing out there. Ground unit, because that's what they was doing out there, y'all. It's crazy. Last week we got on here, or maybe a couple shows ago, where we were talking about the offense looks like it's missing Dallas Goedert. People came to us after the show. They said we were a little crazy for saying that, and maybe the offense would get their legs up under them. No pun intended. But it's still looking the same. For you to run the ball 50 times on the offense, I know the Packers' rush defense is terrible, but for you to run the ball 50 times lets me know that you're not even looking to throw the ball at any point. Of course, you running the ball the way you did is going to open up the pass, which is why he completed 16 and he got the 2 touchdowns. However, your quarterback should not run for 200 yards a game. He was looking a little when he got up after a few of those hits. Another thing, when you were talking about the Eagles, there is some chink in the armor. I mean, most Eagles are bald at the top, so they're looking a little bald at the top. No disrespect, Joe. But right now, their offense is the toupee for that defense, because even with the 2 big guys they filled in the front with Linville Joseph and Sue, Packers were still doing their thing on the ground. Every other play was a good run. They were averaging probably like 4 to maybe 6 yards a carry, which still led Aaron Rodgers to opening up with that play action pass. Even though he could squat 200, he was a lineman. Anyway, it was still leading Aaron Rodgers to that play action pass, which made him kind of look like Aaron Rodgers of old, which we all thought he was, I ain't gonna say dead and gone, but we thought he was gone for this season with the thumb injury and also the rib injury. So their run defense is still shaky. Maybe when Davis comes back, it'll solidify. But for right now, it's not looking too good. They also took another L in the secondary with Gardner going down. So that set up a few other passes where everything just looks wide open. To bring this back, they will lose 2 more games. They're definitely going to lose 2 more games. And I'm going to book 2 of them. They're going to lose to the Giants, and they're going to lose to Dallas on Christmas. So you can call us the Grinch that stole Christmas, because you won't be opening no gifts in Dallas. All right? So that would leave them what? I think we would probably tie for the division, because I got Dallas winning out. On to the next question. Is Jordan Love, is he promising? Yes, definitely. I don't even know what type of math you were doing up there, Joe, when you're talking about if the Packers are mathematically out of the equation. Yeah, they're done. They're done. So right now, I wouldn't even go to Aaron Rodgers and waste his time. I'm like, look, ice up, son. We got Jordan Love in here. We're not going to tell you you're going to lose your job to him. However, it's looking like we made the right pick by going to get Jordan Love. And I heard that Jordan Love, he got picked 2 spots before Jalen Hurts. So it was a little competition there. Love got in down 2 scores and almost won the game for him. I've never seen a backup come in and do that. And he looked perfect. Like a few of them passes were a little bit off, but he was still on the money for 2 of them. Got the touchdown, and if they would have got the onside kick, I truly believe that they probably would have had a chance to win that game or at least tied to go into overtime.
All right, so for me, I want to start with Jordan Love first. I think it's too soon to say that you should start with Jordan Love. Now, I'm saying this because of what he's done in his totality, not just from 2 drives that he played yesterday. Now, he did look well in those 2 drives that he played yesterday, but we've seen him play a full game, and he did not look anywhere close to how he did yesterday. So I just want to kind of sort of pump the brakes on him starting for an entire season right now, because at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. He's shown you at least once or twice this year that he can still be able to play well enough to help the Packers. Now, he has played terrible this year. Don't get me wrong. He has played absolutely terrible this year. I'm not even sure if he's even thrown for 20 touchdowns this year. I'm not sure. But I'm not going to put Jordan Love in right now ahead of Aaron Rodgers, knowing that Aaron Rodgers right now is still the best chance for us to even be competitive at this moment. Now, like I said, Jordan Love did play well last night in the 2 drafts that he played, but it was pretty much in garbage time. I mean, the Eagles were pretty much not really worried about them coming back to win, even though he did, he did throw a touchdown in that first drive that he played in. But I mean, I'm not going to say that he deserves to start an entire season right now. He played well in 2 drives, like I said, but no, I'm not going to start him over Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry. I'm not ready for that. Now, if they do start Jordan Love the next game and he plays well these last few games in the season, I'll change what I'm saying. But right now, I'm going to say no. Now, for the Eagles, yes, I do think they're going to lose another game this year, at least 1 or 2. I think they should definitely be on upset alert next week against the Titans. Whether any of the receivers actually able to get a touchdown for the Titans is, that's questionable. AJ Brown is on the other side, so that's something right there. And Treylon Burks, his only touchdown this year was for a fumble recovery that happened yesterday by Derrick Henry. So, but the person I just mentioned is the reason why I think they should be on upset alert is Derrick Henry. Whether you believe it or not, Derrick Henry, Derrick Henry leads the league in rushing right now, if I remember. He's the only running back that has run over 1,000 yards this season so far.
I think Nick Chubb just did that, but
Nick Chubb probably did as well. But before the games yesterday, he was the only running back over 1,000 yards. And we know what he's capable of. So Derrick Henry is still a monster, and I don't see anyone on that defense that can really stop him. And like Tomo said about the run game, yeah, they were still able to run the ball on them. They had 100 yards total rushing against the Eagles, and they were averaging 5 yards a carry. So that lets you know that chink in their armor is still there. Even though they signed Linval Joseph and Dominic Sue, it's not a guarantee that they're going to be able to stop anyone on the run. And their run defense wasn't even that good when Jordan Davis was there. So I don't think even when Jordan Davis come back, it's going to make a big difference. But they do have the best defensive backfield in the league right now. They still lead the league in turnovers, if I'm correct. So that's well enough for me. But I definitely think there should be an upset alert. I agree with Joe. He is the best. He is playing like the best quarterback in the NFC East right now. And Eagles are playing well. They're without a doubt the number 1 team in the NFC. But somebody's going to get him in the playoffs. I'm not sure who, but somebody's going to get him in the playoffs.
All right. So look, without a doubt, I'm not gonna say that. They record might say that, but they got a lot of flaws in their team, like I said. And I'm not gonna condemn Jalen Hurts for running because I don't want to condemn Lamar for running. So I'm not gonna condemn Jalen Hurts because at the end of the day, they were winning. It were winning plays that led to scoring drives. Now, if we saying he run around and they not scoring the ball, then we talk about longevity. It's a conversation. I'm talking about right now. Jalen Hurts is doing what he has to do to get the job done. So I'm gonna give him props for that. But Jordan Love, I'm not. I didn't. I know. I don't know. You told me or Tomo, but I didn't say start him over Aaron Rodgers. I said let Aaron Rodgers finish this out.
He was talking
You
about
told you okay, but next year Jordan Love should start. Why would we go forward Aaron Rodgers if we already at his MVP level lost twice in the playoffs? Do we think he's better now? Do you think they got a better team now? Nah. So why even waste time? Try to flip him while he still could do something and get pull a Russell Wilson trade, send him to somebody that gonna try to make a Super Bowl run and get a bunch of picks, and you got your future. The same thing you did with you drafted him in the first round. You went up and drafted him. So if you don't believe him as an organization, why would you even go up and draft him? So that's my theory on that. But go ahead, Tomo.
I want to touch on something too there. Everyone says there was this dark cloud that Aaron Rodgers was bringing to the locker room, right? Mm-hmm. And we hate to say that, like, sometimes injuries can, like, be that little ray of sunshine, right? We don't ever want to see anyone go down. We don't ever want to see anyone get hurt. But, it comes with the game. It comes with the business. That's what they sign up for. With this, that offense kind of looked like it rejuvenated a little bit. I seen a little bit of, like, when Heineke came in for Wentz, I seen a little bit of that offense be like, oh, we can finally run. Like, LaFleur lit up. He opened up his playbook a little bit and was like, finally, I got somebody that's going to listen to me. So this is why I'm saying, not just off 2 drives, I'm saying the fact that it looks like Matt LaFleur is finally going to open up his offensive playbook to be like, look, Jordan going to run the plays that I asked him to run, and you all are going to see the offense that I'm looking to run. That's all I'm saying. The promise is there. And my man hurt his ribs. Like, y'all really going to rush him back? I seen Romo play with broken ribs and a bad back. It don't get too pretty after that.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with the injury part. Yeah, if Aaron Rodgers ain't healthy, I'm starting Jordan Love. I don't care what anybody says. If he ain't healthy, I'm starting Jordan Love. Well, that's without question.
Yeah, keep him healthy so you probably
sure.
Yeah, you're right. He getting paid $50 million a year, 3 year, $150 million. But there's a team out there that I might try to get him. Titans. That's
and one more thing. He threw 28 passes yesterday, so it's not like he ran the ball. That's it. He threw 20.
He ran the ball 17 times. That's a lot.
He did. I'm not saying it's not a lot, but he also threw the ball 28 times. So he threw the ball a little bit too.
He's talking about Hurts?
Yeah.
Come on, man. He's a running back, man.
And before we go to the next topic, Eagles fans, that would never happen again. Y'all ran the ball 49 times. It would never, ever happen again. And believe it or not, it happened 2 weeks later, and y'all did it.
Good ground unit.
Come on. So eliminate the excuses. Please continue to take that L y'all took 2 weeks ago, and just hope y'all don't see us in the playoffs. All right, so the next topic, we got to talk about Mike White. All right, Mike White is here. So Mike White against the Chicago Bears beat them handily, and he threw for 3 touchdowns over 300 yards. And the team, man, they just look more excited. They look more amped. So we want to know, will Mike White lead the Jets to the playoffs? And is Zach Wilson done with the Jets? All right, so Tom will kick us off on this one.
I got to do it, man. I told them they should have started Flacco. I'm wrong on this one. I said they should have started Flacco, man. Mike White did exactly what you just said. I mean, Mike White had the same effect on the team that Jordan Love and Heineke had. I told y'all it's the year to backup, man. Backups come in and the team just look more happy. I did not expect for him to throw 3 touchdowns on 22 attempts in the rain against that team. Will he lead them to the playoffs? They have potential to, because he didn't turn the ball over. He was pressured like 7 times, 1 sack, still came out with a QBR rating of 149. So that shows you that there is some hope there. And the remaining schedule, they got the Vikings, Buffalo, Detroit, Jacksonville, Seattle, Miami. Nah, he's not going to do it, y'all. He's not going to do it. There's a lot of hope, though. They got something to build off of, but no, Mike White won't do it. And, hey, Zach Wilson, that's a leader. That's what a leader does out there.
I'm with you on the Zach Wilson part. I agree 100% on that. That's a leader. That's what you got. That's what you. Also, people forget there was a game he played in last year. He threw for over 400 yards against the Bengals, and that's the Bengals team that went to the Super Bowl. So that's saying something. And if I remember correctly, I think I'm the one that said that the team and the fans loved him when he played last year, if I remember correctly.
You said that.
And he showed yesterday why they liked him so much. Because he's your prototypical quarterback. He's 6'5", over 200 pounds. So he's what you most people will what they see quarterbacks, and that's pretty much what they want. Someone that's at least 6'2", 6'3", nice arm, has good pocket presence, because he had good pocket presence. Now, this is the Chicago Bears defense. This is one of the worst defenses in the league. So it's not like he threw the ball crazy against the Eagles or
The 49ers.
San Francisco or one of these top 5 defenses in the league. It's not that. But no one was expecting him to take the spot. People were already saying that Joe Flacco was going to be the starting quarterback, because we saw what he did early in the season. But the coaches felt like Mike White was the answer. He's young. He was drafted the same year. He was also drafted last year with Zach Wilson, so he was a rookie last year, and he came in and showed some promise. Now, as far as Zach Wilson being done, I'm gonna say no. Now, whether I think he should be done or not that's a different answer. But I don't think he's done as the Jets quarterback. I still think he has an opportunity to be the quarterback of the future, whether people believe he deserves it or not. At the end of the day, he was the number 2 overall pick, and it's pretty early for them to give. I won't say give up on them, to pretty much give the reins to someone else. Even though he was drafted in the same draft class as him. What was that quarterback that got drafted before Kyler Murray and they sent him out the door? Can't remember his name, but I know he was trash. So, but that's the only anomaly situation where someone. There you go. He was terrible. So he was drafted number 1 overall, and he ain't really been starting for. Well, I think he started after that, but he's terrible. I think Zach Wilson is a little bit better than him. But that also makes you question the organization too, because they were dead beat on him before the draft even started. 2 months before the draft, they was like, "Yeah, we drafted Zach Wilson." I was like, what do you see in him? What makes him so good that you just automatically gonna draft him 2nd overall?" I thought it should have been Justin Fields, but hey, I'm not the Jets organization. But the organization is also why I felt like Zach Wilson still has a chance, because it's the Jets. The organization hasn't changed much. Yes, they have Robert Saleh there, who came from the Kyle Shanahan tree. So I think Robert Saleh might, if they allow him to be able to be the coach that he wants to be, then he'll let Mike White start for the rest of the season and going forward. But I think Zach Wilson somehow, some way is going to be the starting quarterback next season.
All right, so will Mike White lead them to the playoffs? I'm going to actually say yes. I'm going to say yes. All right. And it's not because of Mike White. It's because of the Jets defense that I'm banking on. All right. Think about it. With Zach Wilson, who we are just straight dogging, who everybody don't like, they beat Miami. They beat they beat Buffalo, Miami, and that's only 2 teams for real. Miami, it beat 2 good teams. But it sucks for Zach Wilson because Zach Wilson had to play against Miami defense, who could be stingy at times, New England defense twice, and Buffalo defense. Mike White comes in and play the Bears defense, who's not a great defense, and he literally, the worst case scenario happened for Zach Wilson. So look, Mike White threw for 3 touchdowns that game, right? Do y'all know that Mike White got 2 games. He played 4 games total with the Jets. He got 2 games when he threw at least 3 touchdowns. Zach Wilson hasn't done that yet. Yesterday was the first time they scored on the opening drive. Like, come on. Also, right? Also, Elijah Moore got his first touchdown. Elijah Moore got his first touchdown of the season yesterday. Elijah Moore was threatening to get traded, and he got his first touchdown once Mike White comes in. Sauce Gardner doing interviews to my son. We never had a break that long between possessions. I mean, the team just love him. The team love him. So Mike White, he all right. You know, he all right. Zach ain't back though. Zach ain't coming back at all. So I'm gonna say, and Mike White, when you watch him play, he looks way more confident in the pocket versus Zach Wilson, right? So I'm gonna say yes because their defense is legit. So we gotta respect their defense. And I look at their schedule. I mean, they play the Vikings. They could win that game. They play Buffalo again. They play Detroit. They play Jacksonville. The Seahawks. I mean, those are winnable games right there for the Jets. So, and yeah, so I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. He can lead them to the playoffs. And far as Zach Wilson, if Mike White continues to play well, Zach Wilson is not getting his job back.
No,
point blank. The only way he can get his job back, the Jets have to lose, and Mike White has to look bad. That's the only way.
Look, man, the only Zach we acknowledge is Zach Morris. Zach Wilson is not saved by the bell. He's done.
Zach Morris. All right, that's a classic for those who know the show. All right, so the next topic we got to talk about the Buccaneers, man.
My boy.
The Bucks, Tomo. All right, the Bucks. All right, this is our last topic. We're going to have a guy come on. I'm excited about the next topic. But listen, the question is, are the Bucks one and done in the playoffs, obviously? First of all, can't even get to the playoffs because it's not set in stone. The Falcons are right behind them, a half game behind the Bucks. So let's not act like the Bucks have an automatic ticket to the dance. But I'm gonna say they are one. They will be one and done. Now, because they have Tom Brady, obviously they can always pull out a masterpiece for one game. You never know. And it's not like their defense is bad. They still have a top 10 scoring defense. The problem is the offense. The offense is terrible. Right now, Tomo, they're 27 points per game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But if you go in the NFC, we don't score a lot of points. The Cowboys can score a lot of points. So can the Eagles, right? Seahawks can, but they're not a high scoring team like that either. So the Buccaneers can sneak in there and get a W. Or 49ers, they got the high power offense, but they're not reliable every game on offense. So that scoring problem it might not be an issue because of defense basically. But they dead last in rushing. They actually on record pace to be the worst rushing team in NFL history, by the way. And they're 28th in yards per passing attempt. They're terrible on offense. The only good thing they got going for them is Tom Brady is not throwing a bunch of interceptions. They are keeping the ball out of harm's way. But that might be a problem because sometimes you got to be a little risky to get the big play. All right, so I'm going to say if I had to put money on it, they are one and done. But it's not guaranteed they're going to make it to the playoffs because the Falcons will sneak up on them.
Yeah, I agree. The Falcons definitely can sneak up on them. I mean, the Buccaneers are 5-6 right now. I don't think anyone thought they would be right there before the season started. Well, you did. That's because you had
I was going to retire.
Exactly. That clearly didn't happen, but it feels like he retired while he's playing. So maybe he retired trying. I think maybe that's what he did. And he was so far so good. He was playing well since he got his divorce, but it looked like that divorce catching up with him now. So I don't know. But yeah, I think it all depends on matchups depending on who they play. But I mean, can you really name one team that's in the playoff hunt that they're that much better than? 49ers, not that much better than. The Commanders can give them some go. Dallas can beat them. Eagles can beat them. The Vikings can beat them.
Giants.
I think that might be their only chance. The Giants is the one team that I don't believe in. I don't believe in them whatsoever. Daniel Jones is not the quarterback anyone thought. Is not the quarterback that the Giants thought he was. Let's put it that way. Because they drafted him high in the first round, thinking that he was going to be a savior, and they were tripping. But all they got is Saquon. It's Saquon or bust, and it's not much you can really do when you have pretty much a terrible offensive line. Your defense is depleted, and your quarterback may throw a touchdown within 2 weeks. It's like he throws a touchdown every other week. You don't know what to expect from him. Now, he's played pretty clean. Now, he's not giving the ball away a lot, but he's not putting you in position to score all the time either. It's Saquon. Without Saquon, where would that offense be? I don't think their record would be 7-5, 7-4. I don't think they would be there right now.
You can say that about any team. Everybody got that star player that carries them.
That's true. That's absolutely
what
true.
would we be without Terry McLaurin?
But it's different.
That Eagles game, the Colts game.
I don't know, but y'all can find a way to win some games without Terry. Y'all done it. Y'all done it.
Y'all got weapons. It's different.
Yeah.
Y'all got weapons. Y'all got weapons. Y'all got more than one good player on your team. Let's just put it that way. On your offense, you only had on the Giants' offense, their only good player is Saquon. That's the thing. It's Saquon or bust. Clearly, they don't have any. Kenny Golladay is terrible. He hasn't been good since he left Detroit. So I mean, I don't know, man. I don't. And that's the only team I think the Bucs can beat because I don't think they beat anyone else.
No.
I don't think they beat anyone else. Now, I will say this: if they are able to beat a team because of their quarterback, now this is me, of course, being pessimistic about my team, but that would be us, and that's because of Jimmy. But I'm going to give it to Jimmy. He's played pretty well this year. He has 16 touchdowns to 4 picks for the year, so he's played pretty clean this year. I hope he continues to play that way, but I'll talk to him more about him when we go to that topic. But unless the Bucs are playing the Giants, I think they're one and done.
So on today's episode of QB Wives Matter, I tried to tell y'all, man, like he was undefeated, fresh off the breakup, fresh off the divorce. He came out of there doing the primetime Deion Sanders. 2-0 Brady, we see you. Sounds like G Money got a new boyfriend and Tom Brady struggling. They said my man was undefeated in any game where he was leading by 7 points in the fourth quarter.
218-0.
And the only team I've ever seen break a record is the Dallas Cowboys when they do some crazy stuff like that. That game for Jacoby Brissett has to go down in the Hall of Fame. Like that, he need to give his jersey to the Hall of Fame.
Hey, Brady's former backup.
That's why it felt so good. It felt so good. I know what he said in the podium, but I can't say that on these FCC airways. So, are the Bucs one and done? Definitely one and done. They're one and done. The one team, like I said, they can beat. I agree with you, is the Giants, and that's the only team. They can sneak. I won't even say the Giants. I'm going to be real here. They might could beat the Cowboys if they see them in the playoffs because that's just what the Cowboys do when they make it to the playoffs. You're either going to win it or you're going to lose it. So I don't know what game plan is going to show up. If we got the game plan that we've been with the last two and the Cooper Rush plan, we're winning. But you never know. So those are two teams that he could possibly beat. He could also beat the Commanders too because he'll find a way. But then again, they finding ways to win. We'll talk about them in a minute. Their O-line, they're just riddled with injuries right now. And then they lose Worth, I don't even know, TW. They lost him yesterday for 3 to 4 weeks. Leonard Fournette is out. Like, they just been battling injuries, battling the mental state of Tom Brady at times. The wide receiver, I don't think him and Mike Evans was ever on the same page. Some people may think different, but to me, I just see sometimes he overthrows Mike Evans or he underthrows him or Mike Evans runs the wrong route. I don't think they were ever like fully connected the way him and Gronk or Edelman ever was. Maybe that's Tom Brady never having a tall receiver outside of Moss. So to say this, and their defense used to hold up, and their defense is dealing with injuries as well. So yeah, it's just not a good year for the Bucks. Brady should have stayed home.
Yeah, that defense can't hold up because that offense is going 3 and out.
Yeah,
that offense
It's
is
still a
terrible.
top 10 scoring defense though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not really the
All of
defense.
the offense.
It's that offense. The offense is terrible, man.
and I
You know
had
what?
hope for him.
Like they making fun of a stat with the Broncos about if they scored as many points per game, they would have won. They do one with the Bucks. It's probably something similar.
Actually, Brady said that in his post conference. He said, "I think we only scored like 17 points total. Maybe like 20 is the highest at some point this season. Like you can't do that. You can't win games like that."
So so all right, y'all. So look, our next topic we got coming up is we're gonna talk about the Commanders, but we're gonna go to a little commercial break. We got Mark coming on, so just stay tuned for that one. All right. So see y'all in 1 minute.
Yo, my name is Lambo Anlo.
This is Dimitri.
This is Ed Hahn.
My name is Daryl Julian, and this is
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse.
Oh, I'm on mute. Sorry, I'm on mute. What's up, y'all? We back. We back for commercial break. We got my man Mark going. Okay.
Oh, yeah, already know.
Mark here. What's good? How you doing, Mark?
What's going on, everybody? What's going on?
What's up, Mark?
Heard a little bit of hate earlier, so I gotta address something.
Welcome back, Mark.
Back on the commander's neck. That's what I need.
Hey, Mark, I don't know what it is. You got a little static on your end. I'm not sure what it's from, but yeah, you might. Javon had that same issue. You might have to take that AirPod out. Yeah, there you go. All right. I like that ceiling you got right there too. Look, I'm in the universe somewhere. Up in the sky. Anyway, so we got Mark on. Commanders, another W, 6-1 in the last 7 games. In the 7th seed, So I can't wait to get my Lamar jersey. In the 7th seed, and they commanded some respect right now, or people need to respect these guys. So Mark, let's give us, your feedback on the game, and what the Commanders' opposition. Like, do people need to put respect on their name?
I mean, of course they do. Especially because since week 6 we got the best record in the league, and we look the best right now in the NFC East. You can say the record's about the Eagles all you want to, but if you look at the last 6 weeks, if you look at who's been playing better, because it's definitely the Commanders. Everybody else questionable, even the Cowboys, Giants. We get a lot of rough W's. I could say we get a lot of rough W's. We work hard for our wins. I'll put it like that. But we're definitely, if you doesn't put it like this, Zach Wilson and Taylor Heineke has the same numbers, but they're trying to get Zach Wilson out of here, and Taylor Heineke is the only one. He's getting so much praise for the W's that the Washington's getting, even though it's on the defense. So I think we have a little double standard right there. By the way, another thing is that the defense looks like a top 3 defense. And because of the way the defense looks, is we can compete with any team in the NFC. And, most of the teams in the AFC, outside of the Chiefs and the Bills, I feel like that'd be the only team that really I feel like I'd be nervous to play against. But everybody else is just you don't want to go against Washington, especially in the playoffs if we, we finish out the season the way it is now. And this would probably be like the second time, I believe, in NFL history when one division, every team in the division, go to the playoffs at the same time. So we look good, and I need respect on the Commander's name. I need respect on that name. We demand that.
All right.
Dave, do you want to go? Or you want me to go?
I like this.
The floor is yours, sir. The floor is yours.
Come on, Mark. Come on, man. What Boosie said? Come on, dog. Like, y'all have been balling. I will give you that. But don't ever compare Tyler Heineke to Zach Wilson, man. They are two different players, man. Even though the numbers are the same, they are two different players. Tyler Heineke is a leader of men. Like, your whole offense went from 0 to 10 when he got in. And I'm not going to say as far as like how you all were playing well. I'm talking about the intensity, the level in which everyone went out there and started actually running routes. Like, Heineke brought a spark to that team. So don't the Zach Wilson thing, let the numbers go. Stats kill opinions. Ain't that what you say?
Yeah.
So also, your game plan since that Eagles game, man. Your time of possession is like 170 minutes to like 70. So you all have been holding on to the ball longer than any of your opponents. And you're actually getting takeaways now, something that you wasn't doing in the beginning of the season. Look at me out here giving y'all props. So both of you might as well throw your left hands up, because you can say you are commanding respect. You are commanding respect, but nobody's going to give it to you until you like fully earn it. There's 2 more teams that you got to beat before everyone's like, okay, here they go. And another thing I do love that you all are winning is the fact that the NFC East is now, because we've been holding the NFL on our backs for so long, because they have nobody else to talk about in the NFL if we're not doing good, any of our teams. And the fact that we're all probably going to make the playoffs, I love it. But man, I'll just let y'all battle with the Eagles. I'm respecting y'all run right now.
Yeah, I mean, I never did disrespect them. Honestly.
Did you have us in the playoffs?
No, I didn't have y'all in the playoffs, but I'm talking about as in like the way I talked about y'all. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just the way I talked about y'all in the season. I never said that, y'all were just a terrible team overall. I never said that. So yeah, I'll say y'all are commanding respect. I think y'all deserve some respect from the way y'all been playing. I mean, y'all 6-1 since that Bears game. So y'all been playing pretty well. Beat the what everyone calls the best team in the NFC on Monday night. When no one expected it, ran the ball 49 times on them, made them look like, they were just another regular, NFL team, which they are. But we know the Eagles fans in the chat think otherwise. So I definitely say y'all deserve some respect. Now, the amount of respect, I don't know yet, because I want to see y'all play some better teams. I think y'all play the Chiefs next week, right? Y'all play the Chiefs next week. If y'all
Giants.
Yeah, we got the Giants. Yep.
Giants.
Okay.
Giants back to back. Then we got the Browns and the Cowboys.
Giants, bye week, Giants, then the 49ers.
49ers.
Yeah. Now let's talk about
Cowboys.
Now talk about that.
Here we go. We'll come to that when we get to it, but
yeah, we're coming up. We get to it. It's no disrespect to the Commanders, but yeah, I think y'all deserve some respect, man. Y'all been playing pretty well. Taylor Heineke has like Thomas said, has sparked that offense. Defenses look good. He talked about the takeaways before the Eagles game. You only had 1 takeaway all season. Since then, y'all have had 12 takeaways since then. So that lets you know that your defense has definitely gotten a lot better. And then Chase Young he practiced today, so he's on schedule to be able to play next week or after the bye. So that's going to be pretty good for y'all, because one of y'all best defensive players is coming back, which is good. Put him on the same side as Payne, so that's going to be good for your defensive line. Fuller has played better. I gotta give him some respect because he's definitely played better. I'm one of the people that definitely disrespected him early in the season, so
you're not the only one.
So there's a lot of people that disrespected him, and deservingly so at that time. but he's played pretty well. I'm not going to answer that, but the Commanders been playing pretty well. It's not really too much to say about it. Defenses play well. Y'all been running the ball crazy on people, like Thomas said, holding the ball more. So that's keeping your defense fresh, and that's very important to keep your defense fresh. You don't want to keep going 3 and out and leave defense out there because, like we talked about in the last segment with the Bucs, the reason why the defense is so tired at the end of the game is because the offense can't stay on the field. So as long as y'all keep y'all same game plan, y'all should make the playoffs and upset somebody. I definitely see that happen.
You said upset. If we make the playoffs, we probably will
mute, Joe.
The most scariest team in the playoffs.
You on mute, Joe. You too excited. Look. You still on mute.
You still on mute, Joe.
Dang. Hey, David, I'm over here saying all this stuff. Hey, look.
The Fox 5 moment. Can you hear me?
Hey, look, I appreciate all the flowers, right? But I gotta stop you, okay? You know, they look beautiful. Hold on. They smell a little good too. I appreciate the flowers, all right? But look, Mark's right. The moment you don't put us in the playoffs, that's disrespectful. All right? Stick with your pick. All right. Then next year, pick us next time. All right. But anyways,
we're gonna get him. We're gonna get him.
Hey, Mark. Hey, I'm with you, man. Look, hey, listen, y'all. I did some little research. I call my research guy Joe Jordan. We did some research, right? So the reason why you right, Taylor Heineke is not Zach Wilson because of the leadership, right? But Mark is right. It's our defense. Y'all know we can argue. We probably got the best defense in the NFC East. I could probably argue that. I mean,
Here we go.
I want to hear this.
Listen to me. Our defense holding us down, y'all. Right now, we are the only team in the NFC East that's in top 10 of every category right now. Wow. We top 10 in scoring defense, top 10 rushing defense, top 10 passing defense, top 10 total defense. The only defense in the NFC East that's doing that right now. After that horrific start we had, nobody else in the NFC East had a horrific start that we had. Think about all the ground we had to cover to get to that. So since we've been winning, since this 6-1 streak, right? First of all, before I want to say that, I'm going to give my man Ron Rivera some credit. Ron Rivera, I give you some props, man. Hey, listen, after that Titans game, I was heated. I called Mark. I'm like, Mark, relax, man. Hey, no, Mark was telling me, like, look, Mark, snap out of it. We're bad. I called Mark and said, like, we step out of it. I was like, Ron Rivera got one more chance for me. We got to win this Bears game. Tomo asked me, what if y'all only lose by field goal? I'm like, yo, Tomo, if they kick a 75-yard field goal to win, he got to go. I said that, right? Not only we win an ugly game that everybody made fun of, and he came out. I was actually on the phone with Mark. We listened to the press conference together, and right there I said, "It better go on a run." I said, if I was Terry McLaurin, I'll go in the locker room right now and say we got to do this for our coach. So look, since that Bears game, right? We 6-1. We had here are the numbers. Since being 1-4, we allowed 286 yards per game, which will be second in the NFL right now. We also allow 16 points per game, which would be second in the NFL right now. And we have a turnover ratio +6, which is tied for third right now in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Come on now. Our defense turned around. A lot of changes made. Kenneth Fuller is playing better, right? We got William Jackson out there. My man Wild Goose is playing good. Daryl Foster looking like a beast. Cam Curl looking like one of the best safeties in the league. Nobody ever talk about. All right, my man Jamin Davis. Mark told me this. Jamin Davis having a breakout year right now, and this is without Chase Young. This is without our middle linebacker Holcomb. And we are the only team in the NFL that have 2 D tackles with at least 5 sacks. So you can argue we have the best defense in the NFC East. Yes, you got to go ahead and think about it. All right, put the numbers up for me, All right. So I just want to say that. So put some respect on our name. We are a dangerous team. Nobody really wants to play us. Now, you look at our quarterback, you look at our offense, and then people might say, oh, that's an easy win. No, our defense is legit, but it's not getting recognized. I don't know why. All right, because our offense is not powerful. All right, but it's not powerful, but our defense is legit holding us down. So, yeah, we command our respect.
And that's the scary thing about it, is because we can get better on offense. And it's just like I know I said it before, like we're still getting better every week. I say that last time, I'm just like, oh, it's week 11, week 12. Y'all shouldn't be getting better. No, we should be getting better. If your team is looking worse than y'all was in the beginning of the year, y'all looking worse. They're getting worse. So teams is going to start to, everybody's coming for the top team's neck. So it's like it's harder to be on top and stay on top than it is to catch up to the top.
That is true. That is true. They say cream rises to the top. But y'all looking like sour cream right now, and it's not Taco Tuesday. See, I was trying to give y'all flowers, man, but God, y'all make it tough for somebody to root for y'all. I'm glad y'all beat the Eagles. And see, this is why the Eagles need to handle their business, and we know they're not a real team because they let people come in and then they get confidence like this. Like, look at the confidence they gave y'all. This is insane.
I know they had the best record in NFL since.
Hey, Tom, real quick. Also, I want to say this to everybody that said we were going to win 5 games, 4 games, 7 games. I don't think nobody in that little chat we got had us winning more than 7 games. Nobody.
He did not
Kevin
turn
said 7 and 9.
Kevin said 9. Okay, my bad. He said 9 games, right? Because you know what's really good. All right. Well, you got to put that up for me because I remember 7. All right. So
7 to 9. Yeah.
we at 7 right now, starting off week 4 and starting 1-4. So, and David, you gotta wait for us to beat somebody. You saw what we did to the last undefeated team Monday night on their turf.
I said someone else.
Someone else. Okay, how about this? The 49ers. I can't.
I told you.
The 49ers, right? I like y'all team, all that stuff, but I don't see a win on y'all schedule that looks like it's good. Every good team the 49ers played. I know. Yeah. See, there we go. Come on, man, fight me back, man. Dang.
Look, I will, because y'all ain't played us again. You know we own y'all.
I've been honest about my team this entire season. I've been honest about my team this entire season. I did not say I've been impressed about any win we've won this year. Not even the game yesterday. I'll talk about that when we get to that segment. Yeah. But hey, all I'm saying is I know my team well enough to not give them too much praise because I know what they can do to me.
Don't worry about it. I got you. They ain't played us again. So I don't even know why they doing all this. They know Dak own them.
They gonna take y'all. They gonna take it. Just because they think Dak owns us, they're definitely gonna take it L.
We play our last game of the season. Every time we play y'all, when the playoffs on the line last game of the season, you know
who said the playoffs gonna be on the line?
Okay,
it will be on the line.
For who? Y'all?
Unless y'all lose the rest of y'all games.
Who losing the rest of their games?
I'm just saying because
look, man,
right now the whole division is in, and if we went out, we beat the Eagles. We beat the Giants twice. Maybe another team might sneak in there, but if the Giants keep winning and we beat them, and then we beat the Cowboys, it's just the NFC East is in the playoffs with the number 1 in the rest of the division.
But Mark, you know y'all season looking just like that memorial, man. All dressed up, but no real statue.
It's not
real. It's not real, man. Y'all got my man Sean Taylor looking like Zordon. Like
Sean Taylor family was cool with the statue, so as long as they cool with it, I'm cool with it.
Nah.
So it is what it is. As long as they cool with it, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I'm not. I do want to say about that real quick. But first off, Blaze, y'all not 6-1, y'all 5-1. Y'all had a bad week. All right, so you can put a pause on that. All right. So, anyways, that memorial. Now look, they could have did a better job. They should never use the word statue because it's not a statue. Mm-hmm. I get all that. You can make a joke here and there, but to keep making jokes about it, it's a memorial about somebody that's dead. Like, come on, y'all. Like at the end of the day, it's something that they put up for someone who's no longer here. Now, I didn't agree put a statue because he hasn't done enough here to get a statue. So that means everybody that passed away on the team will get a statue. So we can't do that. So he did something quote unquote special, all right, for him that's gonna be there for the rest of wherever the team goes, gonna be there forever. So we're gonna make our joke, but to keep pressing on them, like we pressing on them something that's dedicated to somebody that's dead. Let's just relax from that.
Come on, man. We gotta find something to talk about. Y'all won.
Yeah. I'm talking about people that's pressing, okay. That's pressing on it. Like I'm like, all right, you got your joke over. All right, cool.
Yeah. But also, man, look, man.
I agree with Joe. I don't think you should be pressing on that much. I mean,
Dino was one of them guys.
Dino was one of those guys. But I'm a Sean Taylor fan because of course he came from the University of Miami. He was the hardest hitting safety in the league at that time. The best league at the time.
He was in Miami. They had ballers too.
Exactly, man. He was. I can go down the line of who we had, but Sean Taylor. And the more it was more so because of not only what he did for the team, but what he did for the community when he was there, and because of what happened to him. So I think I was okay with them giving him a memorial. Now, the way it looked, I didn't like it because I felt like it was disrespectful. Now, the family said they were okay with it. Now, that's fine and dandy. I have my own opinion on it. I'm not trying to tell the family, so I get it. If they fine with it, then that's fine. But I personally didn't like it. That's all I can really say.
Look, man, coming from a Cowboys fan, Sean Taylor was definitely a dog.
He was.
He gave T.O. T-Rex arms. So, and that poor punter, I feel bad for that punter. Because every time you bring up the Pro Bowl, people like, they don't hit like this no more.
I know.
And they bring up that highlight. Like, that's crazy. Imagine you at the barbershop and you getting your hair cut, and they like, man, remember they used to get hit in the Pro Bowl? And they show you getting hit by Sean Taylor? It's probably an honor. But yeah.
He got up, though. I give him that. He got right back up.
We don't know what happened after he walked off the camera, though. You can get up. We've seen some boxers stand up and fall back down. So,
oh, man.
But yeah.
All right, cool. All right, Mark. Appreciate you for coming on, man, representing.
I already know. HTTC. Hail to the Commanders.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right, Mark. Stay safe.
All right.
All right, y'all. That was fun. I just enjoyed that segment. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Actually, I don't know if y'all enjoyed that. I enjoyed that segment. All
Oh,
right.
we know. You when they got the jersey and everything.
You know you did.
Hey, we had to do a commercial break for a reason, right? I had to switch out.
I knew it was a setup.
I ain't want to be like J-Mo. I had to pause my screen. All right, cool. So look, now we gotta talk about this OBJ situation. All right, OBJ. So, all right, OBJ, man, he's on the market. It's a lot of talk about him going to the Cowboys. A lot of speculations on other teams, right? And we want to know where he's gonna land, basically, where he's gonna land. So, me personally, all right. First of all, the Cowboys are the biggest beggars in NFL sports history. I've never heard a team beg for somebody to join their team ever in my life. In NBA, NFL, ML, so I don't watch baseball like that for real, but I never seen somebody campaign in the middle of the season when they got the quote unquote best receiver in the NFC East on their team, right? To try to get another receiver. So now let me tell you why I don't think Odell will sign with y'all. Now he might be foolish enough to do it. I don't know, but let me tell you why he shouldn't do it. Number one, y'all are the laughing stock of the NFL. Let's start there. Y'all always come up short when expectations are high. Why would Odell want to put himself in that situation? Number two, y'all have an offensive coordinator that's not Sean McVay. All right? Your offensive coordinator don't know if you want to run the ball first, if you want to throw the ball first. All right? Number three, you have I don't have an issue with Jerry Jones, but number three, you have a number one of CD Lamb, who in a lot of people's eyes is not a consistent number one receiver. So bringing Odell there is more pressure on Odell to be a number one receiver at times versus playing behind a Cooper Kupp. So I think that he should go to Kansas City. The only reason why he would go to Dallas is because of no state income taxes and the weather. That's it. But outside of that, he shouldn't go there. And for money reasons. So, but he should go to Kansas City. Number one, you got the best quarterback in the NFL. Start there. Number two, you have another superhero type talent, Travis Kelce, that's gonna be playing with you. So all the attention not gonna be on you because you got Travis Kelce on the field also. And number three, you have Andy Reid, who will scheme you up so good, something similar to what Sean McVay did with you last year. And the second place he should go to is Buffalo. Buffalo is a similar situation to the Rams from last year. Literally similar situation. Great defense, a quarterback who's a gunslinger with a number one receiver already at Stephon Diggs. You got Stephon Diggs already, and you also had Gabriel Davis. So you throw in OBJ, all the attention's not going to be on him at all because they have weapons and they got a gunslinger in Josh Allen, who's due for a Super Bowl, and you already got Von Miller on the defensive side, who you played with last year. So if I was OBJ, if I want to win me another Super Bowl, I would go to either Kansas City or Buffalo, not the Cowboys.
All right. So we agree, Joe. I think that he should go to Kansas City. or Buffalo. Now, where I think he will sign, I think he will go to the Cowboys. That's the thing. I think he will sign with the Cowboys. I don't think. Now it's the Cowboys, so it's possible that this can happen. I don't think they're doing all of that recruiting for Odell for him not to sign there. I think that he's seen them, and then he saw what they did on Thanksgiving. He was watching that game. He saw what they did against the Vikings. He was wild. He was wild with these last 2 wins that they did, and I think that's going to give him enough to sign there. Now, whether I think the only way he won't is the money. I think if they're not going to give him the money, the contract that he wants, and he doesn't think that they are good enough to win the NFC, to get to the Super Bowl, that he's going to go to Kansas City. I think that's the only case. But I think with all that effort that he did with Micah Parsons and all of the other players, I think he's going to go. He already talked to Dak. Dak said he already reached out to him. Jerry Jones has had conversation with him already. I think he's going to Dallas. Now, do I think he's going to win a Super Bowl in Dallas? No. I don't think that's going to happen. The Cowboys are the Cowboys. As they would say, they're an accident waiting to happen. It happens every single year, especially when they play well. Even when they went 13-3, when Dak started his first season, doesn't matter. It's the Cowboys are the Cowboys. As long as they're the Cowboys, somehow, somewhere, they're not going to be able to get over the hump. Now, that's not to say that they haven't been playing well, because they have CD has played well these last 2 weeks, which is pretty good. Michael Gallup is starting to get his feet back up under him. He's starting to make explosive plays. They still got Tony Pollard back there and Zeke Elliott. And Dak is still good enough to throw for 300-400 yards a game. But it's Dallas. And the thing is, when you're in Dallas, the eye is on you, no matter who you are. And even though Odell is not going to be considered the savior, a lot of people are going to look at him as a savior because it's Odell Beckham and he's playing for the Cowboys. So I think that's the only thing. I think that's a good reason for him not to go. But I think I don't see how he's not going to sign to the Cowboys. I think it's going to happen. All that recruiting going on, all the conversations he's had with them. Von Miller still thinks he's going to go to Buffalo, but I think he's going to Dallas.
Now, I reckon you guys are crazy because you already know where he's going. He's going to Dallas, man. Like, you already know, man. I gotta get my turns voice on. Come on, man. He's coming to Dallas, man. And we're gonna whoop that trick when we get in the playoffs, man. But nah, I agree with everything y'all was saying about the whole. I don't like the out front. Hey, we need you to come to Dallas. I don't agree with that. The only person I've ever seen do that, Joe, you was wrong, is LeBron James. Okay, LeBron James will flat out tell you that he needs a player in the middle of the season, standing next to Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. Like, he doesn't care. Okay, so I guess that's why he was a Dallas fan, because you got to tamper a little bit to get what you want. You know what I'm saying? Especially at the rate the Eagles are signing people, you got to do something, because Howie Roseman in the back, pulling curtains, you just signing everybody. But these were the few teams that I did name. I said the 49ers. 49ers was a shout to me. I used them. I say them in Dallas only because that extra weapon being out there, it opened up the floodgates for the run game. So the fact that you'll have 3 receivers that everyone has to focus on, now your run game is more dominant. Also, with Eli Mitchell going down, that gives you more room to spurt the ball, because they sure not passing the Kittle. So, and that's personal for my fantasy league. I said the Giants because he may want the reunion and for the long-term stability. Like, the money is one of the factors. Like, Dallas is Dallas, but the money is what he said he wants. He wants to go somewhere where he can build a future. And right now, the Giants is that. They're like rebuilding their whole franchise right in front of us. They're one quarterback away. They're showing their offense that they're building something there. And the defense. The Bills, that would be nice. It would be lovely. But it snows. They had 6 feet of snow. Oh, they don't want to go outside in the snow? Like, who want to do that? And Von Miller wanted to come to Dallas. So I don't even know why he talking like he wanted him to go to Buffalo. Von wanted to come to Dallas for real, but Jerry ain't picked the phone up. Yeah, Von, we know. And another team, Philly, they gonna do it just cause they spiteful and they on a get mission like UCB.
I ain't want to.
They'll do anything. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But for the fame, the fortune, and just the longevity of a career, it's Dallas. How many people went straight from the booth? I mean, straight from the field to the booth because of Dallas.
Yeah,
I mean,
I see your point, but well, it snows in Kansas City too, so you could have said that about Kansas.
I didn't pick Kansas City. You all was saying that.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
I was thinking Eagles too, though. I ain't want to put that in the air.
I didn't want to put it in the air neither, but as I was like going over my notes,
I knew for a fact he wasn't going to San Francisco. For one, we believe we already have 3 good receivers: Debo, Ayuk, and Jennings. People don't understand that Jennings plays very good on third down. He's like the most dependable wide receiver we have on third down. They said third and Juwan. So that lets you know that he's doing some way. He's made key plays multiple times for us. He made key plays against the Rams last year.
yeah.
People forget about that. He made two key touchdown plays against the Rams, and he made the touchdown that we had yesterday.
True. And we want to stop one. Yeah, and I want to stop one narrative too, Joe, that you keep putting out on this show. CD is not the best wide receiver in the NFC East. He's just better than CD is not the best receiver in the NFC East. He's just better than AJ Brown.
Okay.
That's all I've been saying. Like, don't get it twisted, okay? That's all I've been saying. You keep throwing that out there.
Hey, my bad. You know, I'm glad you cleared it up, right?
Yeah, because you was gonna say it one more time before the show was over. I know you was. No, he's not.
Yeah, I definitely think Terry is the best wide receiver in the division.
Scary Terry. He reminds me of Devontae Adams sometimes. It scares me.
Yeah, okay, I like that. Got the dreads. All right, y'all. So now we gotta get to a different topic. Speaking of the Cowboys, so Jerry Jones, he had a photo that surfaced through Washington Post. He had to throw on his Dr. Tom glasses on, right? So Jerry Jones, he had some news that a picture that surfaced the internet, and you know it's dropping, it's you know raising a lot of eyebrows. And funny or not, it was released by the Washington Post, you know, just a month after Daniel Snyder said he had dirty laundry on people. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. All right. So basically, the photo was taken September 9th, 1957. I don't have the photo with us right now. 1957. That was 65 years ago at a high school in Little Rock, Arkansas. Jerry Jones was 14 years old. It was basically black students trying to go to school, and there was a mob of white students that were stopping them from getting in school, basically. And Jerry Jones was in the crowd, kind of doing this. Like people make it sound like he like this. He's just like this, basically. He just got his hair lifted up. His eyebrows not up. Like, what's going on? It's just kind of like I can't see. It's more of a I can't see look versus what's going on look. All right. So the Washington Post put a post out about it, and this was the cover, y'all. It said Jerry Jones helped transform the NFL, except when it comes to race. That was the title of the Washington Post release. So Jerry Jones, there are only been since Jerry Jones. So first of all, there's only 3 black coaches in the NFL right now. It's active. 3 black coaches when the league is over 70% black. All right. And then you got Jerry Jones, who's been an owner for 33 years. In his 10 years as a coach, he has 8 head coaches, all white. All right. All of them were white. He only had 2 black coordinators, none since 2008. And normally when you get a head coaching job, you got to be a coordinator first. So a lot of people came across and felt like, you have a platform, you have the biggest platform in the NFL. Why aren't you hoping in this aspect? Now, me personally, I'm never try to put the racist label on somebody unless they blatantly do something that's racist. Because I never know what somebody's thinking, what's in their heart, and stuff like that. Now, Jerry Jones never came out and apologized or anything like that. I do think Jerry Jones should come out and recognize that what was going on there. 'Cause I heard what he said. He basically he was there out of curiosity. And the main thing he was worrying about was, am I going to get in trouble? But I didn't hear him. I'm not sure if I'm mistaken, but did he ever recognize what they were doing was bad? What they were doing, he don't agree with. I wasn't there supporting it. If I knew what I knew now, I probably would have done something about it. I think he should do something like that because it's sad. I don't want to go deep into this situation, but the whole Kyrie situation, how they pressed him out, he had to do all these things, meet with the Jewish leaders and all that stuff, just for him to play another basketball game. And Jerry Jones is like, it's no pressure. Now, obviously, Kyrie is an NBA player. Jerry Jones is a multi-billion-dollar owner. That's why in this world we can't get caught up with what people think, because what matters really is how much you work for real. That's all that really matters. All right. So that's why we should always try to do the right thing, Monday or not. So I do think that he should come out though and apologize for saying, like, not apologize, but let's let it be known that you don't support that stuff, and what that was going on is bad. And talk about what he did. I think he said we came a long way, something like that. Now, far as him hiring black coaches, right? I'm not the type of guy that's like, you gotta hire a black coach. That's never been me. I'm not that guy. All right, because at the end of the day, it's his team. He get to pick who he wants. All right, because if we had a black owner, right, the black owner might go out his way to hire a black coach, and it will be okay. But I understand why it would be okay, because we don't have the opportunities, and the white people do, right? So, but I'm like, when Jeff Saturday got his job, I was like, I mean, he's the owner. He can do what he want to do. How about we focus on owning the team, right? Versus depending on these white owners to hire black coaches. How about we focus on making the money, own the team, and then we got to do that ourselves. I understand, Joe, there's not that many opportunities to be an owner. It was this year with the Broncos, right? The Broncos just sold their team, so opportunities will show up. Now, so my bottom line is, I'm going to let y'all elaborate more on it, is I think he should come out and say what I say he should say.
Man, this is tough, because this is the second time Jerry Jones has put his fan base in a situation where we have to be like, look, bro, come on, man. Like, what you doing? Like, we all know, we all have some inkling or speculation of like what billionaires and millionaires think of just black people in general. You brought up the Kyrie Irving situation, for example, and the fact that the NBA went through what they went through with Asia, and how all of the NBA players just like, they told them don't talk about it, and then they just stopped talking about it immediately. Once this picture came out, I didn't know it was the Washington Post. I get all my news from Twitter, so I seen that and said, nah, Jerry, nah. And y'all know me, I always try to make light of situations, but always crack jokes, but also understand the seriousness in it. And I was like, why Jerry in the back? Like, why he ain't run to the front like he always do them post games? He quick to jump in the camera then. So the information that you just gave me just now was just like, he was 14, but it don't matter, right, wrong, or indifferent. You knew what they was doing. You seen them kids get off the bus. Like, you didn't have to be nosy. You knew what it was. We seen the movies when they made announcements about it, when segregation started. They was like, look, these kids is coming and they're going to be here at this time, and they're getting off the buses. Like, we always seen it. Even in Forrest Gump, when the black kids walked into school, what Forrest Gump do? We started walking, everybody's like, hey, man, what you doing? So to me, Jerry did come out and acknowledge that he was in the photo, but he never acknowledged that what they were doing in the moment was wrong. Sometimes he takes this businessman approach and thinks that the world thinks green. Like, everything ain't green, Jerry. Like, that right there, some people like operate off emotion. And just goes back to Kaepernick and the kneeling. He told his players, he said, hey, we're not participating in none of that. And when he came out and when more details came out, he said he went to all of his players and was like, it's not about race. It's about business. Like, how would it look to the business? And we are in Texas, and all of the things, because he's thinking with money instead of thinking like with his heart. So sometimes when you operate in green and greed, you try to act like the other situations don't matter, but that matters most. Also, to the black coach situation, Marvin Lewis, before they hired Mike McCarthy, you know, the Rooney Rule. They said Marvin Lewis had a interview, but everybody in Dallas media was like, they already knew they was gonna hire Mike McCarthy. They didn't even. Why would you go get and I hate to say this, but everybody called Marvin Lewis Jason Garrett 2.0 because of what he did in Cincinnati. But yeah, nah, Jerry, you definitely got to come out and say something because Jerry is just not one of them owners. Because you talked about the Colts where he's an owner and he's not ingratiated in the team as much. I don't think nobody else in the NFL is more ingratiated with their team than Jerry Jones is, and also the fan base. So when we bring up names like the Colts owner, Dan Snyder, Robert Kraft, and let's say Arthur, I think it's Arthur Blank or Arthur Hill. Who is it for the Falcons?
Arthur Blank.
Arthur Blank. When you bring up those names, you just be like, okay, he just owns the team, blase, blase. Or in perfect scenario, Daniel Snyder. Because everybody that's a Commanders fan, they don't rock with Daniel Snyder. So if you bring up Dan Snyder, they can separate themselves from the team, and they always find a way to do that. It's just something about when you're a Dallas fan, because Jerry has done so much and he ingratiated and he's always in your face, you're like, man, I kind of rock with Jerry. And then he'll do something like this, and you're like, I don't rock with that though. So it's hard when you're a Cowboys fan to separate sometimes the team and him, and you kind of gotta like. It feels like you get judged for liking the team because of him, but when other teams do crazy things, do other stuff like this, they kind of can be like, well, you're just a fan of the team. They kind of separate it. You know what I mean? So Jerry, you definitely gotta come out and say something. You can't be in front of the camera every day, all day, and just let a photo like this and think it probably will go under. Because that's what media does, and he got enough money to bury it. He's done it with like several other things. But yeah, for me, once it came out and I found out really what was going on, I was like, nah, that's not cool.
All right, so I appreciate you fellas for allowing me to go last. This is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about since the photo came out. I'm glad you brought up the Kaepernick situation, because Jerry wasn't the only owner that had issues with that. All of the owners in the NFL didn't like the fact that went on. Now, two owners were very vocal about it. Jerry Jones, Bob McNair. Those two were very vocal about the kneeling situation. Now, yes, I understand that the flag represents what the flag is supposed to represent when it comes to the United States of America. But we all know how the United States came about. Now, I'm not going to go all the way back to history when it comes to that, but just that Kaepernick situation alone showed his true colors to me. When you don't recognize the reasoning for something that happened, then that lets you know that you are not only tone deaf, but very irresponsible for your response when it comes to that, and very ignorant. Because when you see someone else that didn't grow up like you, that pretty much struggled in a different situation and are going through more issues than you are just because of the color of their skin, you should have some kind of remorse for that. Whether you think it's right or wrong, that's your opinion. But when you're a prominent owner of the number one franchise in all of sports, not just the NFL, not just the NBA, but all of major sports, your team is worth more than any other team in history, period. So whether I think he should apologize, it's not necessarily an apology. But I agree, he should at least explain what he was doing there, or he explained what he was doing there, but explain whether he felt like what was going on was right or wrong. I'm not going to call him racist because, like Joe said, I don't know his thoughts. I'm not sure how he is, but he's shown some kind of prejudice when it comes to our struggle. Now, the three of us have grown in the DMV area, so we've seen what they don't see. You know, we grew up around that, unfortunately, and we've become good men that we are now. And But we know that that's not necessarily easy for everybody else because of the environment that we're in. It takes a strong minded and a strong heart person to be able to be who we are and become better and focus on getting better every day, because not everyone's mentally prepared for that. Now, I mainly wanted to call out some analysts when it comes to this. Stephen A. defended Jerry Jones without a doubt when it came out. Now, as far as I know, that's the only sports show that even brought up the photo. Undisputed didn't talk about it at all. First Things First didn't talk about it. Speak didn't talk about it. I didn't hear from the Pivot podcast. I didn't hear from anyone else. Only Stephen A., only ESPN brought it up. Now, Stephen A. has a habit of defending people who do wrong that aren't our color. When Kyrie had his situation, what did he do? He went on him, right? When Josh Gordon had his situation with marijuana, he let him have it. Stay off the weed. That's what he said all the time. This is what I don't like when it comes to prominent Black people, African Americans, however way you want to differentiate it. When it comes to our struggle and when it comes to us making mistakes and everyone else. Okay, our couple talked about it. I didn't know that. But every single time this happens, they're not defending us and making them do those extra steps that they made people like Kyrie do. Kyrie had to do 6 steps in order to play another NBA game. And he never once said that he hated another religion or other people. He never said he hated them. Now, whether the post should have been put out or not, that's everyone else to an opinion about. That's not what I'm here to talk about, because that was the situation that he had to deal with. I think he should have handled it a lot better, but hey, that's over and done. But there's no reason why when people come at us wrong or do wrong to us that they shouldn't suffer the consequences that we did when we do wrong. Why is it that then when we do something, we have to crawl and beg to be able to just do what we love to do daily, or just to be able to live our lives? Why is that? I just think that it's a little ridiculous that it takes people like us to be able to talk about this. People that live this every single day, that have been through it, have grown from it. And other analysts, I'm pretty sure other Black analysts didn't have silver spoons. A lot of us come from the struggle anyway. And the thing is, when we go to college, other than sports, they don't think that we belong in college. Most of the time, my niece just went to college on a $2 million in scholarship to North Carolina A&T full ride. But that was all because of her grades. It had nothing to do with sports. But when it comes to us, they automatically think that when we got a full ride to school is because of sports, because I think they think that's all that we offer. When it came to LeBron James, we had some of his political rants, I'll say. What did they tell him? Shut up and dribble. These are the issues that I have when it comes to the media, when it comes to what we do when we do wrong and when others do wrong. When Riley Cooper did what he did he have that much flack from the media or from other people? They forgave him, right? Michael Vick defended him and forgave him. Did he not? But what did Michael Vick say about Colin Kaepernick when Colin Kaepernick was trying to get back into the league? He said that he should cut his hair because he needs to look more presentable. I'm in an industry where not a lot of people think that I should be in an industry just because my hair's not cut. I don't dress a certain way and I don't look a certain way. But that doesn't mean that I don't deserve it, because I worked just as hard as you did to get to that position. And I feel the same way about you guys as well. because we work our way to get what we get, and we always have to work harder than everyone else because we already have that stigma against us that we're angry, we're mean, we're violent. When we all know that's not necessarily true, it's because of the environment that we were put in. Now, I just want analysts to keep that same energy when it comes to other people when they do that to us. Don't only come at our players and when we do wrong because we already have it hard on ourselves. Do that to everyone else when they disrespect us, and don't defend us when we know that we didn't do anything wrong. That's pretty much all I gotta say about that. I'm glad y'all allowed me to go last because I had to get that out because there's a lot of points that people don't talk about that needs to be said.
Man, let me jump in right quick, Joe, unless you got something you want to say real quick. Right. So, man, we needed to hear that. Like, I'm definitely glad we let you go last on that point. The Pivot did touch on it on the Michael Irvin episode. They kind of like inched around it because they asked him about Jerry, and it was like, how do you feel about Jerry? And like, what's his name? Ryan Clark kind of wanted to ask him about the photo, but he just asked him about who Jerry was as a person, because all of the players, like you said, they always come to his defense because of what Jerry did for them on the field and off the field. Mm-hmm. And this goes back to another one of your points when you were saying about Michael Vick. That's why they don't treat us with the respect that we need, because when it's time for us to stand up, we always turn our backs on our brothers. So they like, well, if y'all can't stick together, then how do you expect us to do the same? And again, about the whole being in the room, like myself, I got a high school diploma, and everybody that I'm in a room with has a higher education than me. But the fact that I'm still in the room says a lot. Mm-hmm. But when you get in the room, they definitely look at you and be like, so what do you do? Or like, where did you come from? Mm-hmm. Or which sport did you play? And it's like, nah, I ain't do none of that. I just work.
Yeah, man. I agree. I relate. And like you said, nobody kept their mouth shut, but when Kyrie's situation, they killed that dude. Like everybody, I was so disappointed with like Shaq, Charles Barkley, LeBron said something, you know what I mean? Which is crazy, And I agree with you, Tom, on what you said. Jerry sees green over everything, right? And I don't want to take a left turn to like Christianity, but you can't put money above people. You really can't. People try to twist that line. Money is the root of evil. That's not a lie. It's not. Money is only your object. You can't jump out your pocket and kill people, right? But you can't put money before God or people. Can't do that. So, but everybody's their own human being, and that's why we have platforms like this to actually speak what David said. We actually grew up in a certain place. We don't have restrictions, so we can say what we want. So I'm glad we addressed this topic.
Also, the place that we grew up in is where all the bills are passed. So the fact that politicians see how we living and don't care, that right there.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, man, it's a nation's capital. If you go there, you'll be disappointed for real. If you drive around the whole DC, you'll be like, this is a nation's capital. Yeah. You from a different country, you would think that DC should be like a golden place of the US. It's not.
7 blocks away from the Capitol is where I grew up, like the neighborhood I used to be in. That's not the best neighborhood to grow up in if you coming from what Georgetown has became, because that was all black at one point. But I'm definitely glad we talked about this one. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna address this one because Jerry messed up.
People come to DC all the time and go downtown and tour the monuments and all that. That's not the real DC, people. What you see right here is the real DC. We grew up around here. We grew up with go-go music and all that stuff. We understand all this. We grew up when this was Chocolate City. Also, it wasn't just called Chocolate City. It was also called the murder capital, and it's for a reason.
Sad. People brag about it. We're not bragging about that. Trust me. All right.
Nope.
All right, y'all. Now, next up, we're gonna talk about the Ravens and the Bengals, the AFC North. But before that, we got Carl coming on too. Before that, we're going to do another commercial break, and we'll see y'all after the commercial.
What's up, y'all? This is Dennis Garland Jr.
It's your boy, Michael Redwood, a.k.a. Big Mike.
This is DeVore. My name is Teddy Mercado, and you're watching
Refuse to Lose Sports. Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to lose sports. Let's go.
If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse.
All right, y'all. We got my man Carl with us, beating Notre Dame. We got Carl with us.
I had to mute the TV, my fault.
You good. We're going to talk about the AFC North. All right, the AFC North. The Ravens took an L, man. Ravens took an L to the Jaguars, all right, in Duval. And the Bengals had a W in Tennessee. Now they tied up 7-4. They're both 7-4 in the division. The Ravens got the tiebreaker. And we want to talk about who's going to win the AFC North. So we got Carl on, Ravens fan, huge Ravens fan. I know you got a lot on this chest you want to get out today. So talk to us, Carl. I know you want to touch on the game, obviously, but at the end of your soliloquy, let's talk about who you got winning the AFC North.
I think if you present the subject, I might touch on it. So just present the subject and we'll go from there.
Ravens offense.
What about it?
What's your take on it? Where has it been? Where is it going?
27 points with 2 fumbles, a drop touchdown, or actually 2 drop touchdowns, and a number way more than that in drop passes. So I don't think the offense is the issue.
Boom. I know what you really want to touch on. Your defense.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Take it away.
Yes, sir. What's that now? 4 quarter blown leads now? That's all our losses. You can argue that we should be undefeated, but we're not undefeated because of our defense late in games. We were up 9 points late in the game, 4th quarter. Defense gives up a touchdown. Then granted, Gus Edwards fumbles. Then the Jaguars take the lead off the fumble. Lamar takes us, scores a touchdown, gets the 2-point conversion. We're up 7. Under 2 minutes. They have 1 timeout. Facing a 3rd and 21, which they had to burn a timeout on said 3rd and 21. And you give that up and proceed to have them not face another 3rd down the rest of the drive. And they score a touchdown with 12 seconds left. 14 seconds left. That's piss poor defense. And then I don't want to put it all on the players because I'm looking at some of the coverages, and I think part of it, I'm sorry, I'm not even being a Michigan hater here when I say this, but I just think it's the D coordinator. Why one play are we giving the sidelines up? Why on 3rd and 21 we're giving up deep middle? Like why are we not defending deep and giving up the short passes? On 3rd and 21, they complete a short pass. Cool, we're fine with that. Go tackle it up, but don't give up a 16-yard pass play on 3rd and 21 to make it 4th and manageable. That's just not smart. I mean, I know we got a couple injuries, but everybody got injuries. Put your players in the best position to let them perform at their best. Yes, we're missing both of our covered sideline and sideline guys, Marcus Williams and Kyle Hamilton. That's what you got backups for. Put them in position to succeed. And y'all already know how I feel about Brandon Stevens. I don't got to keep elaborating on that.
All right. And what about, all right, how do you feel about like the AFC North as a whole? And the Bengals tied y'all up. They on a win streak.
This is what I expected, to be honest. I said it before the season. I think we'll narrowly beat the Bengals for the AFC North. I know you disagree with that, but I don't think the Bengals was a one-year wonder. I don't think they'll have a Super Bowl hangover, and they're kind of showing that they're not, even with Jamar Chase being out. So I didn't expect us to just run over the AFC North. Yeah, granted, we're undefeated and said the AFC North, and like I said, we could have a claim to be undefeated, but I think we'll win, but it's going kind of like I thought. Other than the Steelers, I didn't think the Steelers would be this bad. It's not a shot. I just didn't think they would be 3-7. Now this is a shot because he left the chat and I couldn't say nothing about it. But how you laughing at the fact that we lost the game when your team is 3-7 and you, Javon, you gonna laugh at the fact that we lost to the Jags? You laughing at a game, we laughing at your season. You feel me? It's just different. It's just levels. You feel me?
All right. So look, so you got y'all winning the AFC North?
Yeah, narrowly, like I thought in the beginning.
All right. So look, I'm with you, Carl. I think Lamar like that. Oh yeah. How you feel about that tweet? By the way, I didn't. Can you like say what happened in the tweet, the clean version, if you could? Do you remember
So basically, some random guy. Oh, can I go on a tangent real quick? This is why earlier this morning I said Ravens fans blow me because one, they kind of don't know what they be talking about. Because how is Greg Roman at fault for any of these losses that we have? How? We're putting up points. The Dolphins, we put up 34 points, I believe. Blew a 21-point lead. That's Greg Roman's fault. The Bills, we put up 20. Them deciding not to kick the field goal, not Greg Roman's fault. That's hardball. I mean, you put up 27, you up 7 with under 2 minutes. Greg Roman did his job. You dropped 2 touchdowns. It's execution, fellas. Y'all want to put the blame on somebody other than the player so badly. It's poor execution down the stretch. These players need to be held accountable. The coaches can't go on the field and do it for them. The players have to do it themselves. Now, the tweet was so stupid. It says you want to have $250 million. So you want to be paid $250 million, then the game shouldn't be coming down to a kicker to win it. Lamar has nothing to do with the defense not stopping them. Lamar did his job. He put us up 7, and he put us in position to win that game. He don't play corner. He don't play safety. He don't play DN. He don't play D tackle. He don't play linebacker. Lamar did his job. That 250 is being earned. So Lamar snapped and said, basically, you never played football in your life and stop eating a male private part. I stand with Lamar. Get off his male private part. He did his job. You sound stupid. Could he have worded it better? Yeah. Do I care? No, I don't.
Hey, Carl, you sound like the BET movies when they doing the clean version.
He said the clean version, bro.
No, but I'm saying the way your voice when you went from like, yeah, he said male private part, and then
I couldn't take no other word. I didn't want to use the biological term because you know
eat a glizzy, man.
You good? Hey, can I jump ahead and go next, please? Because I'm glad
he was winning this division. You got.
I'm glad he brought up Greg Roman. I am so glad. Now, Carl, who was the one person in chat that said Greg Roman wasn't an issue?
Besides me? You?
Yeah, besides you. Yeah. Me, exactly. I said that. And your partner, your fellow Ravens fan, said that he was the issue. And I said Greg Roman is not the issue. I'm telling you that right now. He was the reason why Colin Kaepernick was so successful in San Francisco because he was our offensive coordinator during those times. Now, Lamar Jackson is a way better quarterback than Colin Kaepernick. I'm not saying Colin Kaepernick was ever on that level, but Colin Kaepernick made us good because of his legs and he had a bullet of an arm. Now, he wasn't accurate, but he could throw a deep ball. Lamar Jackson is a far better quarterback than him, so and he's earned his money. I agree with you on that. That defense has been bad in situations where they should have closed out the game. You were up, 21 points against the Dolphins? You got to win that. You got to win that game. You up, 10 plus points on Sunday against the Jaguars? You got to win that game. You can't let a Jaguars team who is not going to see the playoffs, who's not in the playoff hunt or hasn't in the playoff hunt all year long. No one thought they were going to be good. Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. He was drafted number 1 overall for a reason. But no one thought that the Jaguars had a chance to win that game yesterday. But the defense didn't play well enough and let them in that game. So I'm not putting on Lamar Jackson at all. I think he should have, whether I agree with what he said with his tweet is, it doesn't matter to me. But I think he should have just, relax and kind of do what Shannon Sharp said. Like whenever it's a hard loss, just stay away from social media. Stay away from it for an hour, 24 hours, doesn't matter. But do your best to not go on a rant and say something that you might regret. Now, I'm not saying that he regrets going at the fan. I think maybe it's something that in there that someone's going to take and say that, you know, he may be homophobic or something like that because of the last comment that he said. Now, not saying that I believe that he's homophobic, but, you know, that's possible that somebody might bring that up. But I think the Ravens going to win this division. It's definitely going to be close, but I got the Ravens winning the division. And I mean, the Bengals started off pretty bad last year too, and they went to the Super Bowl. No one thought the Bengals was going to reach the Super Bowl last year, and was it this year? I don't think anyone thought that they were going to be one. In our chat, there wasn't too many people that thought that they were going to be a playoff team.
Who, the Bengals?
Yeah,
except me.
No,
you're the anomaly.
I think a lot of people picked them. I didn't pick them.
Okay, well, Joe, you specifically, you didn't think that the Bengals was going to be good, but I don't think I picked them to go to the playoffs either. So that might be me too. Might be me too. But so I'm including myself in that conversation. I don't think anyone thought that they were going to be. Well, me and Joe didn't think that they were going to be that good. They thought that they might have a Super Bowl hangover, but they're 7-4. They're in the playoff hunt, tied at the top of the AFC North. But I think the Ravens going to win it out.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna jump in. So look, the Bengals, big props to them. Joe Burrow. Why are we not putting him in the same conversation as Josh Allen? I don't know why we're not doing that. Because Joe Burrow is the type of quarterback, you give him the if you keep the game close, he's capable and more likely will close the game out. Mm-hmm. All right, so he did it. I mean, I think when he got sacked many times in Pittsburgh, he did it week 1, right? You know, so I thought they was gonna lose that game. They still didn't win that game. He won that game, right?
No, they lost. They lost.
All
right,
right, cool.
Field goals.
I actually had on winning.
He didn't lose in that game. It was like endless missed field goals.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, the Bengals, good props to them. Joe Burrow doing this thing, surprisingly, without Jamar Chase too, doing this thing. All right, and I'm with Carl 100%. Lamar played a great game yesterday. The only thing I can say he did wrong was he overthrew one person. He overthrew 2 people. I guess you can say Mark Andrews overthrew the second one, but you know how many touchdowns he dropped that game? They dropped 3 touchdowns.
They did 3. I was about to say when it came back, I was going to say it was 3 actually.
They dropped 3 touchdowns, but the second one, the third one, they still scored a touchdown. But they dropped 3 touchdowns, and I say dropped. They right in their hands. One Mark Andrews, one your other tight end who played for the Jaguars, and Robinson dropped the wide open touchdown. Right, so that's not on Lamar because they start off with 9 points when the first one y'all got a penalty, all that stuff happened, all that stuff, but 2 of those field goals should have been touchdowns. Y'all had 8 points that came off the board for real, and that defense was horrific. Y'all defense is terrible. Look at this, and y'all 4 losses in a 4 quarter alone. Y'all gave up a total of 539 yards. That's 135. That's 135 yards per 4 quarter. Y'all gave up 63 total points in those 4 games. That's 16 points per quarter. Like, come on now, you getting us 16 points in the 4 quarter on each loss? That's terrible. That means the offense had a comfortable lead in going into the 4th quarter, and the defense couldn't hang on. So Lamar did his part. He scored a drive before they scored. And like you said, all that stuff happened with Trevor Lawrence. And Jaguars are an underrated team. They lost a lot of close games. They are better than what their record shows. So we can't really say that's a bad law. I'm not going to get you on that because Jaguars it's like an average team. They're not bad, you know. So they just can't finish games, you know. So that's my soliloquy on that.
Tom, before we go real quick, I just wanted to say that I did have the Jaguars doing better than what they were doing, and I was high on Trevor Lawrence this year too. Don't make the loss any worse, because I was still salty at the time, but I was one of the people saying that the Jaguars might surprise some people. Go ahead, Tom.
I'm gonna keep it short and simple. I think the Bengals are going to steal this division, but I think the Ravens. No, I can't say that because I picked the Ravens to win the division. Because Joe like to bring up stats and old pictures, so Ravens gonna win this division. But I really think I'm gonna say I'm a feel, but he's not about to pull this up 3 episodes later because I know Joe. Joe would do that. He'll pull a skip on me, and I'll be like, "Hey, man, why you do that, man? My opinions can change." So, with that being said, the Ravens defensive coordinator might not want Lamar Jackson to get paid. because there's no way in the world this guy looks good for all them quarters and gets you this high lead, and then your defense just comes in and just like, nope. I've seen people play prevent in order just to keep the game close, but there's no way y'all blowing leads like that. So outside of that, the Bengals, their schedule coming up, they got Kansas City, Cleveland, Tampa Bay, New England, Buffalo, and they ended off with the Ravens. So if you all still go on the pace that you all are on, and the Bengals go on the same pace, I think it's gonna come down to that last game to see who actually wins the division. The Bengals are looking nice. For them to win 4-5 without their number one receiver, and then I think the last 2 or 3 without Mixon, after he went for 5 touchdowns, goes to show you that offense still has some promise. They get an O-line. They could have this division on lock for like the next 3 to 4 years.
Crazy thing is they did a whole revamp of the offensive line, and the offensive line is still terrible.
Look, anytime you go get Lyle Collins, you already know what time it was.
Got beef with Lyle Collins.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like So this is what I wanted to say too. We did get the hardest part of our schedule out the way because we do play like the Broncos, the Falcons, the Steelers twice, which is always I'm not saying that's not an easy game because it's never an easy game, no matter how good one team looks opposed to the other team. That game is always a hard-fought game. So that's what sucks. We still have to play the Steelers twice. But yeah, as far as like the Dolphins, the Bills, all those games, we got them out the way. And to be 7-4 with those games out the way, it's good. Even though we should be 10-1, 11-0. I won't take 7-4 because losing the way to the Jags is unacceptable. I would have took 8-3. I would take it. 7-4, I can't take it because of the way we lost. But Joe, I remember I told you at the beginning of the year with Snoop last year, I told you it wasn't Snoop last year. It was always the defense blowing leads. Snoop was being competitive. He was actually – we blew like 3 fourth-quarter leads against playoff teams with Snoop at quarterback. It was always the defense. And it shows – I don't know why it's showing between Wink Martindale and Mike McDonald, excuse me, but they're still blowing leads. I don't get it. It's the players came back. We had a D-coordinator change, but the same thing is happening. Harbaugh's a special team coordinator at heart before he became a head coach. So I don't think he has his hands too much in that defense. So I'm not understanding why it's continuing. But for some reason, I've always said it. I've seen these movies before with the Ravens. Get a fourth quarter lead, games never close. We can never close it because of defense.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna see. Time is ticking this season, and y'all gotta meet one more time. So the division is gonna be. You got the tiebreaker now, but y'all gotta meet the Bengals one more time before the season's over. So we'll see what happens. All right, Carl. Appreciate you for coming on. You always coming here dropping some good knowledge, talking about your squad, and hopefully then we get you back going. Oh yeah, I'm picking the Ravens because I picked them before the season, and they got the easy schedule in the NFL. I mean, they better win.
Wait, what?
No, that's the Eagles.
We had the easiest schedule in the NFL.
Probably, all right, in y'all division, y'all got one of the easiest schedules rest of the way. Y'all do.
Oh, okay, that's what I was about to. Oh, I did have a question before I leave though. Cam Curl, you say he's the best safety no one talks about, or you mean the best safety?
I said he's one. I say he's playing like one of the best safeties, and he's not really being talked about. That's what I said.
Okay, because I'm trying to. Do you think he's one of the best safeties, or do you mean he's one of the best safeties that nobody's talking about? No. Do you think he's one of the best safeties that no one is talking about? Or do you think he's playing like one of the best safeties, period?
I don't know about everybody else. It's about him. I said that he's playing like one of the best safeties, and he's not being talked about. He's not. And
no. I get you on that part. This is the first part I'm hung up on, man.
Oh, yeah, okay. We had this, I got you later on.
No, he's tough. Don't get me wrong.
We had
the same thing with Javon and Minka Fitzpatrick being top 3.
You and Javon got the Steelers and Ravens rivalry going on right there. Y'all like Mark and Kevin. All right, cool. Appreciate you, man, coming on. All right, we're gonna get you back on probably next week. Hopefully I get a W. You can talk on a good day, on a Victory Monday like we are right now. You hear me? But something you can't relate to right now. So I should see there's no days with an L, so I can't get you on those days. So
I'm gonna let you have this because y'all finally win. See, when you not used to something, this is how you act.
Like the
Eagles. 7-4. This is when you disappointed at 7-4. It's one thing, but when you happy at 7-5, it's another. You feel me?
All right, man. All right, Carl. Appreciate you.
All right, y'all take care. Good luck with the rest of the show, and I'll get you out.
All right,
All
man.
right, let's get it. All right, y'all. There you go, Carl, Ravens fan. We're gonna move on to the 49. We got two more topics left. Y'all stay here with us. All right, stay here with us. We ain't gonna be on 20. We're gonna roll through these things. All right. So the next topic we got Jimmy G. Will Jimmy G lead the 49ers to the Super Bowl victory? All right, I got y'all right here. I'm gonna be short and sweet. Now, it's yes or no question. I don't know really, but it's all right. But he should be able to because of the type of team y'all got. Number one, y'all have the number one defense, and y'all have an offense that nobody's like y'all have a high power offense that can be more high power as a season goes because y'all have new weapons. You got Brandon Ayuk. You just told me that Jennings is one of the best receivers on third down. You got Debo Samuels. You got Christian McCaffrey. You got your man Elijah Mitchell. He's gonna be out for 6 to 8 weeks, but he'll be back for the playoffs. So he's the type of quarterback that can win you a Super Bowl. Now, if I look at it now, if you look at the previous Super Bowl, he did not make that throw to Emmanuel Sanders, but he's not the guy who played defense who allowed that catch by Tyreek Hill. So we can't put that Super Bowl loss on him. We can mainly put that on that defense because Jimmy G did put them in a position to win, and the defense gave up a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter. So don't forget about that. All right. So the defense is better this year. Jimmy G should lead them to the Super Bowl this year.
I'm glad I saved you a seat on the bus, Joe. Come on, Joe. I tried to tell him that, man. He was over here talking about, man, give me Jimmy, man. Give me Jimmy in the last 5 games. What is it? 12 over 1,200 passing yards. That's 240 yards per game. 9 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 1 fumble for loss. Gimme Jimmy ain't giving up nothing but touchdowns so far, and it's the last 5 games. What's their record? Oh my! I think the 49ers have outscored their last 4 opponents 104-40. So they're like cleaning people up out here. Jimmy is part of that offense, and the guy that said Debo was mid, you on some mid because that's Debo. Okay, that's Debo. Your offense did light up a little bit when you got what is it? What's my man? McCaffrey, because now you have a running game. Your defense is hard not. So at the end of the day, he should be able to, because at the rate he's playing and not turning the ball over the way that you all think he's prone to do, he's not doing it now. And you still got teams like the Eagles, the Giants, the Cowboys, the Buccaneers. Like, the landscape of the playoffs looks like it's a feeding ground for you all.
It looks like a feeding ground, and you're right. He should be able to win a Super Bowl. Will he? I don't know yet. I'm not going to say yes or no. I don't know. I'm waiting on him when we play another really good team.
Like Washington?
Like the Dolphins next week?
Dolphins. So next week is going to say something. That's exactly what I was looking at. I'm glad you said that, because next week it will say something. Now, I'm glad you brought up that defense. I happened to go on Instagram, right? I follow a lot of 49 stuff. And this is something that I didn't realize. We have the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL right now, and total defense, period. So number 1 defense in the league belongs to San Francisco. Let's just get that straight. Last time we had the top scoring defense was in 1984 when we won the Super Bowl. Also, in the second half and the last 4 games, we have outscored teams 57-0. So that defense is nasty. That's without our top 2 cornerbacks. I'm not going to say top 2 because Tavares Ward's still there, but Emmanuel Mosley is out. Jason Verrett is also out for the year. Jimmy Ward has been in and out of the lineup. Eric Armstead hasn't played since week 1. Bosa has missed a couple games. Eric Armstead actually he practiced today, so he's on schedule to come back next week. Whether it happens or not, I don't know yet, but he's on schedule for that. And Tom, we've always had a run game since Kyle Shanahan has been there. We've had a top 5 rushing game since he's been our head coach. So it's not like we haven't had a running game. This is the first time we've had a star in our running offense. Because we've had Raheem Mostert, we had Jeff Wilson Jr., we had Elijah Mitchell, and we had Matt Breida.
And Debo.
And Debo, yes. Now, I say this about Debo. I don't think Debo's mid, but he's having a mid season.
Yes, he is.
He hasn't had one of his best seasons this year. He's also been hurt. He's been dealing with nagging injuries. He's had a lot of drop passes this year too. And last week was his first touchdown that he had in a few weeks. So it's not like Debo has been playing like he's the best receiver in our team right now. And somebody thought I was tripping when I said Brandon Ayuk has played as the best receiver on the team right now, and he has. He's played better than any other wide receiver on our team at this moment. Now, I'm not saying that he's better than Debo because I think Debo is a better overall player than Brandon Ayuk. But right now, as far as wide receivers, just on that position alone, he's played the best out of the team. And our defense has been bonkers. Now, there's not too many times where you can score 13 points and win a game in the NFL. But that's what happens when you shut out a bad Saints team who doesn't have much on offense right now other than Alvin Kamara and the wide receiver they drafted this year, Chris Olave. But if it wasn't for a hard hit by my man Tonga Tiger that he put on Alvin Kamara that forced a fumble, that would have been a score right there. But our defense, I'm not questioning my defense at all. The defense is not the issue to me. And Jimmy has played well. He's thrown for 16 touchdowns and only 4 picks all year. This is the cleanest he's played since he's been in the league. So I'm happy. I'm gonna give him his props that he's played well this year. But I've seen him when it comes to crunch time and when it comes to playing against team, he does not play well. And even on bad teams, people forget about the Broncos game when he played terrible and ran out of bounds and forced a safety because he ran out of bounds and didn't realize where he was going at. People forget he was the quarterback when we played against the Falcons and we lost 28-14. Now, that's not all on him. The defense did allow some points, but we lost 28-14 to the Falcons. People thought that we should have won that. I think we were a 10-point favorite in that game, and we lost by double digits. So I've seen us lose games where we should have won. But if Jimmy wins as a Super Bowl, I do believe that he's going to come back next season. I believe I said that to Joe before, that if he wins the Super Bowl, there's no way you're going to let him go. I don't know any team that has done that ever.
Eagles.
When Nick Foles, he was back the next season.
Yeah, he was back the next season.
He was back the next season. It's not, they didn't trade him away.
He was back.
I had a feeling you was going to say Nick Foles, but no. They got a statue of that man out there. Trust me, they was certainly happy that they got a Super Bowl. That's the only one in their history, right?
Yep. Yeah, it is. It is. I got you.
I'm gonna keep going with that. But I do think we have a good opportunity to make Super Bowl. But yeah, will he lead it? I don't know, but he has an opportunity.
Look, man.
No, I don't owe him an apology. Jimmy ain't done nothing yet. It's not about us getting to the playoffs.
I think he's talking about Debo. Right.
Either Debo or he's saying, you say he could. Okay. Yeah.
I say he should. I didn't say he should.
If he wins a Super Bowl, you got to do a public apology.
Yeah. I'll apologize to Jimmy. Okay. If we win a Super Bowl, I'll apologize to him. I'll say that. I'm a Niners fan, have been my entire life. So, look, Jimmy, if you win us a Super Bowl, you got an apology coming your way. Until then, you got to prove me wrong.
Well, I don't want y'all to win. I want y'all to stay right at 5 with us. So I'll vouch for him when it comes to the debates, but I don't want y'all to win another thing. I want y'all to lose every game.
I can't believe I can't believe we both debating against David on his own team.
We have to.
That's right.
Because Jimmy out here winning. And the only quarterback, I will say this, though. If y'all win the Super Bowl, it won't happen. But if y'all win a Super Bowl and Aaron Rodgers get kicked out of Green Bay, that'll be y'all quarterback.
Nah, it won't. It won't.
Probably. No, you got Trey Lance. He got the future.
Nah.
All right, y'all, let's move on to the last topic. Who's the NFL MVP?
Come on, man.
Mike fell down. Sorry. Who's the NFL MVP?
Come on now. We know. It's Patrick Mahomes. It's Patrick Mahomes. A close second is Tua. But it's Patrick Mahomes, man. Flat out. This guy right here, they're 9-2. Their record don't represent how he's playing right now. I said it a few episodes ago. Patrick Mahomes is out. Patrick Mahomes is what people used to say about Brady, where he could take me, you, and David, and whoever else is in the chat, and we can go to the Super Bowl. He like, look, man, just run to the sticks, and you'll be open. As long as I got, and also if Kelsey is out there, y'all always gonna be open because they're gonna triple team Kelsey. He out here pulling Jalen Ramsey 6 yards and scoring touchdowns. Andy Reid is looking like the genius that he always should have been because Philly was holding him back. I never seen a team hold a franchise hold a coach back the way they did. But shout out to Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Nah, it's Tua. It's Tua.
Josh Allen number 2.
Tua's second.
Really?
All right, David, go ahead.
Coach, man, you should have been on the show. There's no way you think Josh Allen should be second. I'm sorry, man. You gotta stop. You gotta get that up. Pat Mahomes is the MVP. Point blank player. I mean, they're 9-2, best record in the AFC, which is the hardest conference right now, which is the AFC. Yeah, the NFC looks more winnable to any team in the NFC than the AFC does. AFC is either the Chiefs or the Bills. And the Ravens are close as well. But but that's it. I got Mahomes, Tua, and Jalen. That's my top 3 right now. Jalen, of course, is in there because they're 10-1.
All right. I guess we all don't agree.
You picking Tua, ain't you?
You might think I'm talking about yogurts again, Tomo, but it's Tua. All right. Tua is the MVP. I wanted to look at my home like, nah, man, it's Tua. The only knock you will have on Tua is he didn't play as many games as Patrick Mahomes. But you can't knock him for that. All right. So this is why Tua the MVP. Passing yards. Mahomes first is per game. Passing yards per game, Mahomes first, Tua's 4. Check Mahomes. Passing yards per attempt, because Mahomes threw the ball a million times a game. Right? Mahomes tied with Tannehill at 8.1 at third place. Sorry, second place, while Tua is number 1 at 11.8. Little margin right there. All right. Completion percentage. No, sorry, passing TDs per game. Mahomes first, Tua second. Completion percentage. Mahomes 15th, Tua second. Interceptions. Mahomes is 25th. Tua is second. QBR. Mahomes is second at 77.4. Tua is first, 82.7. Quarterback rating. Mahomes is fourth, 105.3. Tua is first, 115.7. Second place is Gino with 107.9. That's a large margin once again. Games with interceptions. Mahomes, 7. Tua only got 2 games. We threw a pick. But Joe, Tua ain't played that many games. Okay, how about this? Games without an interception. Mahomes, 4. Tua, 7. So can you see that? All right, cool. Tua has as many games without an interception as much as Mahomes have a game with an interception. That says a lot right there. All right. Since being back from injury, Tua 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. All right. Tua also has the game with the most TDs of anybody, which is 6. He also had the game with the most passing yards with anybody, was 469. And to top it off, right? To top it off, look, Hill makes MVPs. You're right, because he definitely made Mahomes MVP. To top it off, the Chiefs are 9-2. Their first loss was against the Colts. They were on Indy's 46-yard line, right? With 8 seconds left. Score was 20-17. They had one more timeout. All they needed was 7 yards to get in field goal range. You know what happened after that? Mahomes threw a pick. Game over. Their second loss against the Bills. 1st and 10 on your own 30-yard line. 56 seconds left. For some reason, when we come to Mahomes, we get brain damage. We forget about stuff that happened in the past, right? 56 seconds left. 2 timeouts. Score 20-24. You put the ball in Mahomes' hands. He going to take you on. What he do? Another interception. So their 2 losses are because of Mahomes. He didn't come through at the end of the game. By the way, Tua, right? On the games where he started and finished, they're 8-0. The games that he didn't start and finish, they're 0-3. Now you tell me who the most valuable player. I'm finished.
Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Who has the better team?
Pat Mahomes.
Who had a better team? Are we going there? So who had a better team?
No.
Tua has the better offense.
Okay, we could say Tua had a better offense. All right. When Mahomes won his only MVP, he had Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and Kareem Hunt.
Hey. We're not talking about hey, sir. We're not talking about last year. We're talking about right now. Who has the better team?
Does that what that guy? Okay. If he has the better team, why are they 0-3 without him then?
Who has the better team?
They don't.
It's not our fault. They don't have a good backup. That's not our fault.
Hey.
And he got a concussion right after that. He got hurt too. Y'all forgot about them games.
Okay, so you're telling me Tua ain't the MVP only because he got a better team?
I'm saying Tua is not it because Mahomes is not playing. Yeah, basically, yeah, that's it right there. Yes.
That might win leave over.
I want to address a comment that J-Mo just said about Kyler Murray. Yeah, they started 8-0, but what was the record when they finished the season?
No, he's saying when Kyler Murray was 8-0, he was never in the MVP conversation. But the reason why Jalen Hurts is the reason why they're winning, though.
Exactly.
So Kyler Murray wasn't the reason why they were winning.
No, Kyler Murray couldn't do nothing.
No, I'm sorry, guys. I can't do that. No.
See, I didn't even hate, but
I'm not hating on them for real. You said it yourself, though. If the Eagles don't get turnovers, they can lose a game.
Listen, they got a good team. But can you pinpoint games with the Cardinals? And we look back and said, man, Kyler Murray had to take over for them to win. He had to put the game in his hands. I can say that about the Colts game. I can even say that about the Packers game yesterday. All right, that Jalen Hurts took over and put the game in Detroit game. Jalen Hurts put that game in his hands, literally.
So technically, yesterday's game, you can't really say that because they could have just ran the ball with all 3 of their running backs and still got the same amount of production. He just chose to run some of those passes.
That's true. Of those plays. It happened. But hey, back to Tua. All right, Tua is the MVP. All right, listen. I know you gotta stick to your point. You said Mahomes. I get it, right? But y'all gonna recognize this is the big game for Tua with the 49ers. See, Patrick Mahomes beat this 49ers team, but it wasn't as healthy they were when they played. They won this number 1 defense when they played Kansas City. So Tua has the opportunity to one up Mahomes this Sunday.
We're gonna see.
All right.
I never seen this. Now you got me out here. This is gonna be a good team. This is gonna be a good game. This is gonna be a great game.
It is. Hey, J-Mo. Hey, I got you, bro. I got you. All right. So look, appreciate y'all. Hey, look, that was a long day. I get it, y'all. But to end this, before we end this, like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share this video with somebody that you know personally. We're gonna break out these videos today so y'all can get it tomorrow. Also, appreciate y'all for using that comment section. Y'all were loud tonight, and y'all stayed from finish to the end. Start from the finish. All right, I'm talking too fast.
See, you like to.
All right, and my man came out from injury, man. And like my man, Tua MVP right now.
You know what? He might be the MVP in Miami.
Wow. Let's get it. All right, y'all. Let's do our last words. All right, I'm gonna kick it off. Go Commanders, 6-1. Right, last stretch, we got to beat the Giants twice. Let's get them out of here, right? And then finish off the Cowboys and end the game, in the season. Hey, 49ers, we coming for y'all. And Tua MVP. Hey, Kings, hey, Sacramento Proud. I know we dropped 2 L's. A lot of people making bean jokes, all that stuff. We got an opportunity to light that bean tonight against the Suns, and we got home. So let's get it.
All right. Let's go, San Fran. Washington, I see you, but like I said, I see you. I'm still a little stuck on that Jerry Jones topic, but just sports analysts, keep that same energy. That's all I can say. Keep that same energy.
Man, run the ball. Just keep running the ball. Well, let me stop because every time I said that, we had 2 teams in our division run the ball 50 times.
Facts.
Somebody listening, but Dallas not. Y'all.
Hey, Giants might be next. You better be careful what you say. Giants might be
next. We got the Giants next. We don't want that.
But yeah, that's all I got, man. Run the ball.
Let's get it, man. Great show. That's all we got for y'all today. We'll see y'all next episode. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.